But over here it's a disease.
Well, because they don't believe that is. But yeah, it's just yeah, I appreciate even being in the company of you all, because this has just been one of the highlights of my trip. We never had it. I mean, between last night and listening to people, you know, the poets, and listening to very intellectual pieces. You know, it was thought provoking, and it wasn't simple in its structure. It wasn't simple in its message. You know, and that's hard to come by. I mean, in the States, you have some people who are deep thinkers, and a lot of people who are just kind of mainstream, or they're still trying to iron out their crafts, or they're mimicking other individuals. But everyone here was unique, and they had their own style and their own delivery, and it was refreshing.
So he was at Sister Judy's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was phenomenal.
Oh.
I was in here. I slept there.
Yeah.
I was like, let me stay. I was working on Psalms of King David.
Okay.
So I finished editing it this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. But I tried to play this track for you before, and I teach Caribbean history, and we're reading the text, and certain words keep coming up. Heretic, heathen, pagan.
All sanctioned by the Catholic Church.
Right? And I'm like, ask the class, what is a heretic? What is a heathen? What is a pagan? Because it's referring to indigenous people who were here, or it's referring to Africans.
Exactly.
It's better for you to be a Christian slave than a heathen slave. They need to be glad that we have saved them from being uncivilized and all of this. Yeah.
Civilization.
So I realized, like, so I started writing down in class, like, I started putting some lyrics down. I haven't finished the song, but this is basically how we go. The history books are call me pagan, so they use them now what call me pagan. Them science catch them young and them mistrust. Brain on them life and them misca. I suppose we have filled out the hypocrisy of the Christian killers. I suppose we have filled out the barbarity of the Muslim slave traders. I suppose we have to beg and bow, cause them say at least we Christians now. Cause every time they go see me, they look at me like I am crazy. But the history books are call me pagans, so they use them now and call me pagans. Them science catch them young and them mistrust. Brain on them life and them miss God. Shackled in the bottomless pit, scattered monks man pirates. Can't speak me own language, and now me God look just like them pirates. And some man bad mercy, some man run thirsty, some man run head fast down to preach and get churchy, bringing an order to all our neighbors, bowing to the likeness and image and Savior. The history books are call me pagan, but they use them now what call me pagan. Them science catch them young and them mistrust. Brain on them life and them they miss God all the way,
So Mr. Hort, you're a pagan.
So now on the street, guys, so we look up pagan, heretic, and they all meant someone who does not believe in the God of the Christians, the Jews, or the Muslims. So I asked the class, is that a bad thing? No. I like, call me a pagan. As a pagan. You know what I mean? We worship our ancestors. So I said to them, like, none of y'all don't, like, when you pray, you think of your family that has left, transition. You don't lift flowers, you don't remember them. You know, you don't feel a spirit, you know. We worship nature. We live with nature. Who it is was just telling me. It was you telling me about the Senegalese woman? No. Last night I was talking to a brethren, Olani, right? Pan-Africanist brother. And he said he went by some friend's house. They're from Senegal. And they heard him cough. So the grandmother said, hey, you coughing, come with me. So he went outside with her at night. And she going to pick some bush. So we were like, we pick bush for bush tea and thing too, you know. But before she picked the bush, so he asked her, why you tapping the tree, the plant? She said, well, it's asleep. You have to wake it up. Because in its waking form is where you get the fullness, the full potency of what it offers. It's a Senegalese woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she's talking with nature.
Yes.
Tradition. Yeah.
Yes. It's a living creature. Vibration affects it. The sound. What's the book by the Japanese brethren? When they studied water.
Water, yeah.
They studied water under a microscope.
You speak over water and it changes form.
When you say
emotion, it takes on your emotion.
When you say love, you look under the microscope.
It
look like crystals.
Like King David snowflakes.
You say hate, and it look like dirty water.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wrote down words, positive words, and put it next to the water. And this is an actual study. What's the name of the book?
I have the book in Hawaii.
It's a blue book.
The guy did a lecture. He comes from Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very famous book showing you how positive and negative energy impacts even water. We are 3/4 water. The earth is 3/4 water. You know? So it's like we take for granted
that life and death and the power of tongue.
Yes. Exactly. we take so for granted, man. You know? And wow. Wow. The journey, man. This journey we are.
And that's all it is, you know. And that's a great way to put it, because that's something I talk about all the time is, you know, whatever you believe in, you never arrive.
Yeah.
It's all a journey.
Yeah.
It's not a destination. You never get there, right? You never get to a point where you're like, okay, now I'm you know, whatever that is that you believe in. That's what you always say. You know, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to believe what I believe in, but believe in something. You know, make a positive impact. Do something good for other people. Martin
Luther King Jr. said, I respect the man that lives. I might not agree with what he believes, but if he lives it, I respect him. You know what I mean? That's powerful.
Practice your faith.
Right. Well, and it's like you were just saying, I mean, about being kinsmen. No matter what we believe in, we still have faith, right? A spiritual connection.
I'm trying to get to the point when people ask me, yo, where you from? You know, now I say like the VI or Africa. I try and get to the point of just saying, "Ot."
You know what I say all the time? I come from my mother.
Your mother.
I tell you where my mother comes from.
Yeah. Because we have way more similarities than differences. You know? But it's this survival of the fittest mentality, you know. It's amazing the stupidness that people use to expose hate. How they try to justify it. it's like, wow, they're so ignorant. You know, because their facts are so wrong. You know what I mean? You don't even have a strong argument. You know what I mean? It's like, but hate is a powerful energy. It's a powerful energy, and you know, I guess the other world's gonna have to come. Nibiru.
You don't know how profound that was that you just said to love. But I could hear you thinking. You selected your words very wisely. Hate is a very powerful energy.
Yeah.
It's not to say whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea about cause and effect. It's a powerful energy.
Yeah. 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 Very, very. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and it reminds me of, you know, when you look at scripture, yeah, and it talks about that all things are working together for my good. You know, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but when you think about what you just said about hate being a powerful energy, right? And you can kind of bring that full circle and segue to the fact that the word says that, you know, no matter what the enemy tries to do to you, he can turn it around for your good or for the good of somebody else. So I mean, it's just it's good that you classified that as neither good nor bad, but just energy itself, because it's about what we do with that energy.
Correct.
What makes it good or bad.
Bridget of mine, Bridget Kunaya, he transitioned a few years ago. We had a conversation. I don't remember the book he referenced, but we were talking about. This was their point. We are here trying to be conscious, righteous, and we are trying to get other people, we're trying to influence other people to be righteous and conscious. And his point was, yo, there's two energies that exist in the world. We call them good and bad, positive and negative, you know, love and hate, but they just are. You know, they just are. You know, they are not trying to do this or trying, they just exist. And here we are trying to manipulate them.
One is good and one is bad.
Because if we have an overabundance of love, what would the world be like? I really wonder, you know what I mean? There has to be balance.
That was the story of Adam and Eve. It was too perfect. You have nothing else to do but wrong.
There was no other direction to go in.
Yeah.
What do you mean don't eat off the tree? It looked like all the rest of the tree then.
Yeah. It's ah man. This life journey, man. The life journey, you know, like going to Hawaii and seeing the love from the native Hawaiians. It's like love, and I hate using the word love because it's very limiting, and I kind of feel strange saying that, but it doesn't, in English, it doesn't really capture the fullness of what it is in English, you know. But as you get to travel and you don't speak the same language, but the behavior is a loving spirit, you know, and you know that spirit, you know what I mean? You know that energy.
That's it.
You know that energy, man, and yeah.
You know what the Hawaiians told me, aloha really means. You know what they call honi? You ever see this?
No.
They'll take, this is how they traditionally greet you. When they start good, they hold your head, and they put your foot and they know you. And you can actually smell the person's spirit. But Aloha basically means face to face. That's what it means. I share my breath with you. The ha is the breath. And aloha is the face. So I'm sharing my breath with you. We're breathing the same air. That's basically what aloha means.
The ah is the breath.
The ah, right.
The Allah.
Mm-hmm.
The Yahweh.
Good, good.
The Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Allah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hawa is Eve's name. Hawaii is feminine. Hawa. The whole thing. And they show you the Hawaiian island chain is a woman. Maui in particular is where Punani is. It's a woman. The Hawaiian island chain. It's very, very mystic place. I tell you what we know in the States, right? Anybody not from planet Earth can tell that Hawaii is the most unique place on planet Earth. Because if you're out in dark space and you see this glistening ball of water, close as you get to it, you see these little perfect dots in the middle of this huge body of water. And the rest of the Earth is covered by landmass.
Yeah.
I said, that's what we go, that must be the best place to be on the planet.
Yeah.
So, quite obvious.
Yeah.
Hawaii is 2,000 miles away from any other continent. It's in the middle of the largest ocean. And it's got every climate and every environment on the planet here. From winters, yes, man. You get snowstorms on top of Haleakala. You have desert over there.
Yeah?
The
Where?
wettest place on the
Big
on the
Island?
planet. Big Island,
Big
and Maui, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Desert?
wettest place- Yes, desert, Haleakala. Yeah, there's a huge desert out there.
Okay.
Maui alone has all 4 climates.
I know it's a mystic place because the cloud around the mountain every day. You know, the people, the soil is red.
It's red.
You know?
Full of bauxite, just like Jamaica.
Yeah.
The mountains they look like somebody just cut them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Oahu, the mountains on the North Shore that look like
The
God was
Crossy Line
scraping.
there. Yeah,
They look like fingernails scraped the
Exactly.
mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a Grand Canyon out there too. In Kauai.
Yeah.
The wettest rain, the most rainfall is on Kauai. White Haleakala. Wettest place on the planet.
Wow.
And Hawaii is such a unique place.
Wow. Yeah, man. So we're doing this project and to hold casual conversations. To, it's faith-based, but faith is in the human spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really beyond the church.
Yes.
The church doesn't exist without the human spirit. I think when people get too caught up, they get too caught up and forget they're human first.
I just talked about that with a friend of mine. We just had that conversation.
Yeah.
That we have been so indoctrinated that we have forgotten to be people. We've forgotten to be human beings, right?
Yeah.
The whole basis of life and the interrelationships that we all share, are supposed to share. We begin, like you said earlier, to segregate ourselves, right? And sort of point out, the differences as opposed to embracing the similarities.
Exactly.
Like when 9/11 happened, a lot of sadness and grief. And I looked at what was on TV, people crying and they're upset. And I said to myself, they need to ask the question, why would someone blow themselves up to kill other people? Why?
And see,
Do you just think people like to blow themselves up? No. But Americans walk across the planet with an ignorant mindset, not aware of what their government does with American resources to people around the world, and it takes extreme actions by others for them to just wake the hell up, because when their child is dead, they're crying too, like we cry. same pain,
Yeah.
same anger, same emotion, you know. You know, but it's really I was just saying yesterday, there's a war going on. The war of good versus evil, the war of religions, the war within religions. Why is it out of 44 presidents in the United States, only one has ever been Catholic? Because America is a Protestant country. They still do not like Catholics. And the only one, and he got his head blown off. You know, so there is a war. No matter what they say, their actions prove there is a war. There's a race war, you know, where because, you know, color of your skin, people have been raised to think that people of color, you know, until America collectively says, yo, there has been a vicious, savage past in this country. And people of African descent have been victimized from 1444 to 2015. Until they accept, respect, identify. See, it's not only us of brown skin that are victims. And someone called me on this before because I used the word victims. But European descent Americans are victims too, because they were not living in those times.
Yeah.
So they're living in their privilege, victimizes them because it doesn't allow them to acknowledge what it's like to walk in other people's shoes. They have a privilege. They can jump in a van and drive through the backwoods of America looking for antique furniture and antique this, and it's a big reality show on TV. I was like, I would love to do that. But what brown man can travel the back country of America? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just driving up in people's yard. Hey, we're looking for, they call it rusty gold. All things that can be refurbished, you know? And like, yo.
That's the program, I think I see.
Yeah, American Pickers.
American Pickers, yeah.
Until America acknowledges, they can't pay us for what we've been through. Until they acknowledge that they are living off, 400. If they ever ask me, okay, what do you want for compensation? I want 400 years of free labor. Okay?
Yeah, that would balance.
That would put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you have to take an African name. I'm not saying you will be raped. I'm not saying I'm going to split up your families. Imagine. Just give me 400 years of free labor.
Just repair some of what you did to us.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah,
but until we acknowledge, then they are victims too, just as much as we, but they are victims in a different way. Because there will always be this tension. You know, you go to a meeting in your office, the corporate world with suit and tie, and there's always a skin color issue in that room. You know, there's always a issue in that room, you know.
You can count the black man then.
Yeah, and you know, women of color, and Native American women. What women have been through is like, if there's ever retribution, hey, I feel sorry for them, man.
That's what Benaya Biggie House is guaranteed. They're praying on that.
Retribution. I don't. Yeah. I would be safe with maybe just being tired, but I would be cool with just everybody trying to be respectful and
Just equal human rights.
move forward. Yeah,
Just
you know.
kind of start at zero.
You don't
and say,
really need
okay,
retribution. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Retribution.
I guess.
Why you say in the movie Roots, when Kunta Kinte was going through his rites of passage ceremony, they say you have the enemy surrounded. What should you do? They're like, kill them.
Yeah, he said, surround them on three
And he
sides.
say surround them on three sides,
way out.
give them an opening. He say you kill a man, his seed will come at you.
Exactly.
You know? So give them the respect of, you know,
Room to negotiate.
room to retreat, you know, whatever, and, you know. Yeah.
And you know, it was powerful imagery. You talked about 9/11. I just kept up and thinking, but you know, one of the overwhelming images that sticks out in my mind in regards to that is, you know, if you think back to the aftermath and you look at the devastation. Granted, it was horrible, but when everyone was covered with dust,
Look the
it
same.
all looked the same. Right?
Despair, love, caring,
It was all there.
sharing,
When they go black and white.
hugging, praying.
Same when you get a hurricane.
Down here, when the hurricane hit, oh man, you okay? You know, everybody concerned about each other, everybody helping each other.
It's the same as takes disasters, whether it be natural
Yeah,
or man-made, to
yeah,
be able to do that.
yeah.
You know, it's
You
just
know-
obviously not that difficult.
Yeah, no.
It shouldn't take. You know.
That's
being in that
Sandy
area.
Hook. Remember the Sandy Hook, where they went in that school and killed all those children?
Mhm.
The elementary school in Connecticut, I think it was.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you tell a parent, man? You know, you can't. You can't. You know, so it's like my heart dropped for them, for the children, you know. For the teachers have to teach the children. For those who witnessed that, went through that, it's like, you know, we're all the same, shit. There are different things in nature that triggers our body. That's the only difference is we have. We are celebratory people. We are visual people. We are musical people. You know?
All of us.
Yeah, you know? And we're more alike than disalike. When the aliens come,
Yeah.
I go see what I gonna do.
But you know, that's what Gorbachev and Reagan summit was about.
Yeah?
They have both proven that they, in terms of hostile alien encounters, and they said if anything else, we must unite as an Earth community to defend the planet. That's what the 1987 Reagan-Gorbachev summit was all based on. They both confirmed that there are hostile alien encounters encircling the planet. Both confirmed with their own space, their own source of information. That's what that whole summit was. Berlin Wall coming down. And now the whole thing with Al Qaeda is they have chosen. It's almost like it's like a Star Wars movie. That's why they program us with these movies, because there are these other societies that have made leagues with certain races on the planet to carry out certain things here. The number one thing they come here for is water. The next thing is food. Now, what if we're the food source?
Yeah.
You understand?
It's very distinct. You know,
Exactly.
how can you really rule any of it out?
Right. So that's the whole idea. They have what they call the Galactic Federation. They call it the Heinz 57. You can look this stuff up. There are 57 different representatives from 57 different places in this galaxy alone, not in other galaxies. In this galaxy, that meet on the dark side of the moon, and they have what's called the Galactic Federation. And each one of those groups have a host nation on the planet. we getting wild.
I know, I've heard about the Heinz.
You know why I don't? Yeah, the Heinz word said that. But you know why I don't like dealing with this? I had a vision in Hawaii. I was in Maui. I was teaching at the school. And I'll never forget it. It was the spirit woke me up at about 3. It was almost 3:30 on the dot. And as I wake up, I see like spider webs, lines, like puppet lines, going to every house. And then I wonder, what is this? And then I see somebody walking down the street and a line going to him. I see him pull out the cell phone. I said, oh.
They've got commercials like that. Have you seen those?
No, but this happened. I had this vision. I could tell you the year. It was probably 2005, 2004, 2005.
I've seen commercials like that.
But what that vision showed me is that there is an extraterrestrial assigned over every single cell phone on the planet. Because they're like ants.
Correct.
They
have to be connected to
so
the satellite.
every one of them cell phones, you got an alien puppeteer running it for you. And I even watch mine when I turn it on. Watch, see how fast the guy is, how much mistakes he makes. Because that's what my mind, that's what my spirit is showing me. Because this technology is no doubt alien to planet Earth. Yeah. You watch the movie 2001 Space Odyssey. Yeah. They found something like the monkeys found something like that. That little pillar. Do you remember the movie? And just by him going close to it, he took the bone and figured out how to burn. Oh, it's a tool. Boom. I can use this to go, you know, the guys at the water hole run me away. I'll go back and whoop their ass. Now I can get on the water I want. Just by being around this pole. So that's the energy that they got. If you remember that movie, that's what that whole thing. If you look into it, watch it probably now with what you know. And figure out where they were way back there when they wrote. Because there's another one, 2010 Space Odyssey. It's a sequel to that. It came out in 2010. It's all about the computer taking over.
Yeah. It has. That ship.
The original Star Trek was about that. Voyager, they call it Voyager, but it was the Voyager. They sent it out to collect information. And that's what it did. It reached a certain part of the solar system, turned around, and started collecting information coming from Earth. i.e. artificial intelligence. I mean, think of the nature of these movies. The computer has been made to outthink man. And it's about to do that. It's about to do that. The computer is going to find out that man has faults in it. So it's going to slowly eliminate man because he's faulty. And that's what man is, that's what the white man has done.
If you think about every...
So that's what they program the computer.
Every single... You think about like stealth, Terminators, all the Terminators. Right? It's all of that same principle that the computers realize that we are a threat to the planet.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what they're all based on.
2001 Space Odyssey.